In a small village nestled deep in the heart of Africa, there was a legend about Nyaminyami, the river goddess, whose powers were feared and revered. She was said to control the waters, bringing either bountiful harvests or devastating floods. No one dared to cross her. One day, a young man named Lima fell in love with a mysterious woman who appeared by the riverbank. Her beauty was beyond anything he had ever seen. Her skin glistened like moonlight on water, and her eyes shimmered with a light that seemed to flow like a river. She called herself Ama, and her voice was like the soft current of a stream. Kofi was entranced. Despite the warnings of the elders, who spoke of the dangers of falling in love with a spirit, Lima pursued Ama. His heart was consumed by her. One night, Ama told him that she would marry him if he could follow her into the depths of the river. Love-struck and fearless, Lima agreed, not fully understanding what he was about to face. As they walked hand in hand toward the river, the waters began to rise, glowing under the moon's light. Ama whispered, "Do not be afraid. Trust me." They descended into the water, and to Kofi's astonishment, he could breathe underwater, seeing a hidden world filled with vibrant plants and fish that shimmered like jewels. At the riverbed, they arrived at an underwater palace. It was a grand structure, carved out of shimmering stones, with large pillars that seemed to pulse with the life of the river. Lima realized that Ama was not just any woman, she was Nyaminyami, the river goddess herself. And now, by marrying her, he was bound to this world. At first, the life beneath the river was like a dream. Lima lived in luxury, with Ama by his side. The waters were calm, and the villagers prospered, blessed by the goddess's favor. But as the days passed, Lima began to long for the surface. He missed the warmth of the sun, the feel of the earth beneath his feet, and the sound of human voices. Yet every time he asked to return, Ama would smile sadly and say, "Not yet." Lima's longing grew unbearable. One night, he decided to escape. He quietly slipped out of the palace, swimming toward the surface. But as he neared the top, the waters churned violently, pulling him back down with an unrelenting force. Ama appeared before him, her eyes filled with betrayal. "You promised to stay with me," she whispered, her voice no longer soft but cold as the river's depths. In her rage, Ama unleashed a great storm on the village above. The river swelled, flooding the lands, destroying crops and washing away homes. Lima watched helplessly as the river goddess's wrath unfolded, knowing it was his doing. Desperate to save his people, Lima asked Ama for mercy. He promised to never leave her side if she spared the village. Ama, still hurt but moved by his plea, agreed to stop the flood, but on one condition: Lima lived beneath the waters for eternity, never to return to the surface again. And so the storm ceased and the waters calmed. The village was saved, but Lima was never seen again. Some say he still lives beneath the river, forever bound to Nyaminyami. On quiet nights, villagers claim to see him near the riverbank, staring longingly at the land above but knowing he can never return. To this day, the villagers make offerings at the river, hoping to keep the goddess's favor and prevent the waters from rising again. And when the river glows under the moon, they tell the tale of the man who was married to the river goddess, a cautionary story about love, loyalty, and the dangers of crossing the spirits. The river never forgets.